My favorite part of class this year was when we peer edited because so many of the people in this class were so talented and I would really enjoy just reading their work.
My favorite part about English with Mr. Grossman was the relationship and camaraderie that all of the students had that you really don't see in every class.
My favorite thing in Eurolit will be the chat. The chat was like so childish and it was really fun. Not to mention the group chat. It's interesting and I would say a bit cursed at times, full of inside jokes that took me a while to completely understand.
My favorite Eurolit moments were the extensive debates that we had on a variety of subjects. Every time Mr. Grossman would take a poll, well, it would be pretty much split 50-50, and it would always be fun to see Leanne and Mary debate it out.
My favorite part of the class was definitely how comfortable everyone felt with each other despite not being in the same physical classroom, and also how fun and interesting the discussions were and how comfortable I felt participating in them.
We had something like closer than just a class, but like the mood was different from other classes' style, and it was a lot closer than the others, so I think I really like that.
I guess my favorite thing about being in this Eurolit class is seeing everyone's growth. Not just in their papers, but like confidence-wise and I think like bonding-wise.
I think one of my favorite things in class is Mr. Grossman grading our essay. He always adds funny comments and not always criticize our writing.
My favorite part of Eurolit class is when Mary and Leanne fight. Honestly, that's the time where you grab your popcorn and sit back, honestly.
My favorite thing about Eurolit was the class discussions, especially when you made the polls and pitted the two sides against each other. They were fun to listen to.
My favorite part of class was when I got to peer edit other people's work and learn about them as they express themselves through their words, and I haven't read a bad piece from anyone here in this entire year.
One of my favorite things about Eurolit class this year, besides the people and the class discussions, were the assignments. I felt especially with the ones where we were to connect themes from the novel to our own lives, that I could be honest and the assignments are actually interesting, not something that were done just to get the grade and be done with it, but because you wanted to share your thoughts.
My favorite thing about Eurolit is that Mr. Grossman allows us to use modern humor during class and in our essays, which makes class really lively, the discussions we have really engaging, and the chat gets really creative and funny as well.
My favorite moment in Eurolit was when I rickrolled Mr. Grossman in one of my essays. I think it was The Unbearable Lightness of Being essay, and it actually worked, and I didn't get points taken off.
My favorite part about Eurolit was the warm environment that Mr. Grossman and all the students created. Class just felt so welcoming and comfortable, as though there was nothing to be stressed or anxious about. Also, in general, class was just a lot of fun, and we spent like half the class time laughing about random things in the chat or just about anything really.
One of my favorite things about Eurolit is our lovely office hours community. Look at every one of these souls. So beautiful.
My favorite thing about Eurolit is what a great and supportive community we created, whether it's through office hours, through our chat conversations, and just our inside jokes in general. It's been a really, really fun year with everyone.
What I like about this class is how chill and friendly it is. It's fun to come to class because discussions don't have to be all serious or formal or anything. You can just be yourself, and it's actually fun to learn, not to mention seeing all the funny stuff that always happens in class.
My favorite part of Eurolit is our breakout rooms, because usually like in my other classes, breakout rooms can sort of get really awkward, but I can confidently say like I've never had a bad breakout room in Eurolit, And I think it's really because of our class dynamic. You know, like everyone has like different writing styles, different ideas and interpretations, and which is probably why we're like all so chaotic. But getting to hear all that in a breakout room was really the best part of class.
My favorite part of this class was our dynamic, definitely. It was a very comfortable feeling environment, but I also really loved the books we read this year.
My favorite part about Eurolit would probably be each meniscus, just like finding out each other's hidden talents that I probably would never suspected.
My favorite thing about Eurolit would probably be the chat. Chat makes the class more lively, it's funny, like certain things they react about in class. I don't know, it just makes the class way more lively and enjoyable to me.
My favorite parts of European literature were the in-class discussions because it felt like a book club, and listening to everybody else's comments just gave me a deeper and more insightful connection with the books that we read.
The best part of Eurolit was getting to know everyone and bonding, even though it was through a screen.
My favorite part of class was the chat because they always managed to make things lively and fun for everybody, which was great, especially being in class was remote this year.
My favorite things about this class are the class discussions and the bonding that we have with each other. In other classes, I feel like the connection is more of a student-student rather than a friend-friend connection, the latter being what our class is like. We can make jokes, laugh at each other, and make edits of men. I feel like we're able to talk with each other as casually as we like. It's a unique bond that I don't particularly have in all of my classes. The class discussions are really enlightening, seeing people's thinking process and how they view things differently, and at the same time swaying me to their side of the argument is admirable. I'm going to miss this class. Stay swag. Ho ho ho, peanuts, peanuts, peanuts. Isn't this audio super seductive?
One of my favorite things about Eurolit is that it introduced me to books I normally wouldn't have picked up.
This class has been the only class I'm in where there's ever an active discussion, and I'm going to miss that so much. I always looked forward to actually interacting with people in this class.
Hi, Abdul here. So my most favorite thing about this class is how students would just listen to other classmates when they're speaking and add upon their ideas. It made the class really meaningful, and also I really liked the group chat. It was funny.
Okay. My favorite thing about Eurolit was that the chat and Mr. Grossman made everything really fun. I think it was different from other classes where we just do work. And yeah, we just got to hang out and know each other. And you know, I have my collections and stuff like that. And I felt like very comfortable here. Yes. Iron Man out.